YouTube family, what's going on? It's your man Pristine back with another video. Welcome to the unboxing for the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 4. Yes, it's time for these new folding devices to get the pristine treatment. You know what I'm saying? So let the pristine treatment commence, shall we? The normal pricing for these devices, for the 128 gig variant of the Z Flip 4, you're gonna pay $999.99. Okay, that's for the 128 gig. Now this is the 256 gig. Again, I got the gigabyte upgrade because of the pre-order. But if you want to just walk into a store on Friday and buy the 256 gig flat out, that's going to cost you a cool $1,059.99. So with taxes, that's going to run you roughly a little bit around $1,100, depending on where you are. I'm in the state of Washington. Taxes is 9.5, 10%. So, you know what I'm saying, out the door for the 256 gig variant, yeah, you're looking at a cool $1,100. You know what I'm saying? So now, what does, $999 or $1,059.99 get you? Well, it's going to get you a 6.7 inch full HD plus dynamic × 2 AMOLED display with the screen resolution of 2640 by 1080p. Okay, we've got a 425 ppi pixel density. This is an HDR10 plus certified display. We've got a 120 hertz refresh rate, or up to 120 hertz refresh rate. Now the cover screen is 1.9 inches. It's also a Super AMOLED display with a resolution of 512 by 260 with a 302 ppi pixel density. On the back, we have Corning Gorilla Glass Victus Plus with armor aluminum frame for some added protection. And then we do have IPX8 water and dust resistance. Now, what that means is you could submerge this device in 1.5 millimeters of water for 30 minutes with no damage. Now, even though Samsung is claiming that that is a possibility with this device, do I recommend it? Absolutely not. Like, an IP rating has never been a determining factor for me to be like, ooh, you can put this phone in water, you can submerge it for a meter or two for 30 minutes or an hour. Ooh, I can get some good underwater photography. And look, no knock on anybody that's with that. You know what I'm saying? If you bout that underwater photography life, then hey, you do what you do. But I'm saying, I'm from the 70s and 80s. I was taught that you don't put no tech in water, even if it is water resistant. You see what I'm saying? So for those of you that desire to have a foldable device that you can take in the water with you, well, now Samsung is blessing you with such a thing. And we saw that for the first time last year on the Z Flip and Fold 3. So not necessarily new, but I mean, a lot of you that like to get underwater with your devices and photograph, take photographs around water and stuff like that. I mean, I'm sure you'll be pleased to know that that same technology is here on the Z Flip 4. All right, now, the internal specifications, the guts, the insides, the innards. We're looking at Android 12 with One UI 4.1.1. with just the Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1, just a little 8 Plus Gen 1, you know what I'm saying? With an octa-core CPU, we've got Adreno 730 GPU, 8 gigabytes of RAM, again, 256 gigs of onboard storage, no memory expansion, so you don't have an SD card slot for memory expansion. So you either got two options, 128 gig or 256 gig. That's it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, so if that's the determining factor, then it is what it is. But there's no memory expansion. Okay, and then we also have USF 3.1. USF stands for Universal Flash Storage, right? And so that's just giving you the capability to be able to, move storage around at a rapid rate. And something else as well that comes along with that. I mean, so, look that up or stay tuned for the full Pristine review, because I'm going to have more information on Universal Flash Storage. But it is here on the Z Flip 4. All right, now the cameras. The rear, we have two lenses. We've got a 12 megapixel ultra wide sensor with a 123 degree field of view. And then we have another 12 megapixel wide angle camera. This is an 83 field of view with optical image stabilization, dual pixel autofocus, and all the shenanigans, right? I mean, this camera is fully loaded. I mean, it's a long list of options that this camera has. I mean, so if you want that whole long list, I mean, just go to Samsung.com, click on the Z Flip. You know, these devices are heavily advertised on the Samsung website, and just scroll down to or click on specs, scroll down to camera, and you can see all the, I mean, it is just a whole slew of things. So I'm just going to give you the basics. All right, so those are the two sensors on the rear. Now, when you open up the phone, we have a 10 megapixel selfie snapper. And I do believe that the selfie camera has optical image stabilization as well. Now, as far as video recording, we have 4K recording in 30 or 60 FPS at 3840 by 2160. So again, that's 4K. We've got 1080p recording at 30 or 60 FPS at 1920 by 1080p. And then we have 720 at 30 frames per second at 1280 by 720. Okay, again, I did just mention we've got 4K recording on both the front and the rear cameras. We've got 15 different camera modes on top of just a slew of other options that this camera can do. Okay, now the battery life, we've got a 3,700 milliamp hour battery, non-removable, 3,700 milliamps, USB Type-C, super fast charging. Now, the super fast charging brick it's 25 watt super fast charging capable, which that is not an accessory that comes in the box. That's going to have to be a separate accessory that you're going to have to purchase. Now, luckily for me, I've got a few of those laying around because of previous Samsung devices that I had when they were actually putting the chargers in the box. So I actually have a couple of those. I mean, so you know, I'm good on that front. But for those of you that want to take advantage of that fast charging at 25 watts, which Samsung is claiming 50% in 30 minutes, that's a separate accessory that you're going to have to go out and cop. You know what I'm saying? Which sucks because you're paying all that money, you know, whether you dropped, you know what I'm saying, your money up front or you got it on installments or whatever. It's still a lot of money to be spending on a device and not have the charging brick come in the box, right? So it seems as though they're increasing the prices on these items, but yet they're constantly taking things away. And I'm just not really a big fan of that. Okay, now we do have 15 watt fast wireless charging. And then we also have reverse wireless charging at 4.5 watts. Not that fast, but I mean, if you've got, you know, like some earbuds, you know, I understand, you know, you got the new Galaxy Watch, you know, I mean, if it's running low on juice and you just need to, you know, get a little something to keep you going, or if you got the new Galaxy Buds Pro and, you know, they're getting low on battery, I mean, man, you can, you know, turn on that power share option and slap it on the back of the device, and it's going to act as a charging pad to charge up your accessories for your device. All right, so that's a pretty cool feature. Now, additional features, of course, we got stereo AKG tuned speakers. We've got Bluetooth 5.2, NFC. We've got a side-mounted fingerprint reader, Samsung Pay. We've got a 32-bit, 384 kilohertz ultra audio quality, high output. We've got 5G sub-6 and millimeter wave. Always on display with a bunch of different options. You know, the cover display has been updated to where it can now do more things than what we saw on the Z Flip 3. And so hopefully, you know, people that aren't really looking to upgrade right now because, you know, they feel like, hey, their Z Flip 3 or their Z Fold 3 ain't broke and they ain't trying to fix it. You know, hopefully they get a lot of those new updates that we're seeing on the 4 series foldable devices. Now, the different colors that you can get, the standardized colors are Bora Purple, Graphite, Pink Gold, Blue, and then like I said, you got the Bespoke edition, which it's just customizable, right? You know, they have some recommended bespoke colors, which is like you can get like a pitch black, you know, an all white, which is the one that I really wanted, but like I said, I'm so impatient, didn't feel like waiting. And there's a couple of other ones as well, but if you want to go full on customizable with this thing, I mean, you can make it red, blue, green, yellow. You know, you can do color combinations, one side red, the other side black. You know, I put that together on Samsung's website and it looked dope, right? But I just didn't want to wait 3 to 4 weeks for it, you know? But yeah, so I mean, it's dope that you can go in and basically custom make your Z Fold, and you know, Samsung will build it from the ground up. You gotta wait, you know what I'm saying? But if you're patient, they say good things come to those who wait. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, and then so as far as the dimensions, the phone overall, it's 187 grams, it's 6.60 ounces. Unfolded, it's 16 with 165.2 by 71.9 by 6.9 millimeters. Folded, it's 84.9 by 71.9 by 15.9 millimeters. Wow, that was a mouthful. Okay, so those are the dimensions for the device, and that's pretty much, you know, everything that I can tell you about the specifications that this device is housing. Now, onto the box here. As you can see in typical Samsung fashion, it says Samsung to the right of the box, top clean. To the left of the box, Galaxy Z Flip 4. Here's just your serial number, IMI, all that jazz. On the back, see AT&T Z Flip 4. This is just kind of giving you a little briefing of a lot of the stuff that a lot of the specs and things that I just read off to you. I've already took a knife to the little plastic right there. And boom. Here, ladies and gentlemen, is our device. All right, wow, that looks dope. Now, God, I thought I could have swore I ordered the blue one. I thought I ordered the blue. I mean, I like this color. It's like they're calling it like pink gold. It looks more gold than it does pink. But they sent me the blue case with it. That's interesting. Maybe I'll go on Amazon and get a clear case. Whatever. I mean, it's free. It's a free case. So that's another perk that you get when you pre-order the device. You know, this case by itself, you can see the price tag right there. That's 40 bucks. So, I mean, you know, you're saving yourself some cheese by making the pre-order on the device. But I mean, so again, we've got the, wait, let me see. Oh, here we go. Okay, beautiful. Look at that. Okay, phone, it feels good in the hand. It's got a little bit of weight to it. But okay, so we'll go ahead and power the device on. So it's got some juice. And then we'll see. There we go. We'll see what else we've got in the box here. All right, so as far as the device, that the piece of the box that it's laying in, that's it right there. But then we have some stuff here at the top of the box, and I believe we're just gonna get a charging cable. Okay, so we get the Type-C to Type-C charging cable. Again, got this from AT&T, so you know, the quick start guide. All right, SIM card, and our SIM ejector tool right there. All right, so let's get this case out of here. Wow, this feels really good in the hand. I like the aspect ratio. Like it feels, it's again, it's 6.7 inches corner to corner. It feels good. It feels good in the hand. I'm not sure if this is just as slim as the Fold 3, because I know the closed, the Fold 4. The Fold 4 is pretty slim while it's closed. But I'll have that unboxing for you guys tomorrow, so make sure you stay tuned. Okay, so yeah, 6.7 inches corner to corner. To the right of the device, you see we've got our antenna lines right here. Here is our side-mounted fingerprint sensor that also doubles as the power button. Here is our volume rocker right here that sits right above the power button. Here's another antenna line right there. Top of the device, we've got another antenna line along with a little noise canceling microphone right there. You guys can see that little dot. Another antenna line. Wow, there's antenna lines all around this device. Got another one right there. Then here is our SIM ejection tool. Now, this is a dual SIM device, or it's an eSIM. So you can like, you know, download your eSIM to this phone and rock out with it that way. So you don't necessarily have to put a SIM card in the device, which I think is dope. Here is our 5G antenna right there that sits directly underneath the SIM tray. We've got a couple more antenna lines here and here. And then the bottom of the device, we've got 2 more antenna lines on the left and right. We've got 2 microphones right there. Here's our Type-C port. And then here's our bottom firing speaker right there. Again, we have dual stereo AKG tuned speakers. And so if you guys can see right there in the earpiece and the glare, we've got 3 little lines, if you can see that. Can you see that? It's kind of hard to see due to the glare. There it is right there. But yeah, there's 3 little holes right there. So that's the top firing speaker, and then we've got the bottom firing speaker. So the speakers, they're not just like, they're not facing you. Not both of them, at least. I mean, the one up top is facing you. The one on the bottom is bottom firing. All right. Now the cosmetics, I mean, again, it's armor aluminum frame. So, you know, we've got an armor aluminum frame, you know, kind of that rose gold color. You know, I like that. It's a dope look. And when you close the device, wow, that really feels good. And I mean, you're talking about some serious pocketability here, right? This is dope. Now, I know that last year, one of the main gripes that I had with the Fold was the fact that you constantly having to open this device in order to use it. And at the time that I was reviewing that phone, I also had the Moto Razr 5G, which has a bigger cover display on the outside of it. And you were able to do a lot more with it than you could do on the Z Fold or the Z Flip. I mean, you could, you know, respond to text messages, even though, you know, the QWERTY keyboard was super small. Just the fact that you can access that type of stuff on that display on the Moto Razr 5G. I mean, you could watch YouTube videos. I mean, you could do it. You could place phone calls. You know, it did a lot of things that you couldn't do on the Z Flip. But the Z Flip was more of a flagship device. And there was a lot of things about the Z Flip that honestly were better than, you know, the Moto Razr. Now, I understand that, you know, Motorola, they're in the laboratory right now as I speak, you know, cooking up, you know, the new Moto Razr 2022, and that's supposed to be a full-on flagship device. I mean, so I think that's going to drop sometime soon. And the way things is looking, man, that might really, you know, cause Samsung some strife, you know, as it pertains, you know, to the Z Flip here. It's looking problematic for Samsung once that Razr 22 drops. But again, it's good to see that with the outer display here, you know, there's a few more things that you can do that we couldn't on the Flip 3. And so I'm excited to, you know, get my hands on those things, use them, test them out, see how well they function. And you guys already know I'm gonna be back with the full pristine review. So hold tight, I'm gonna get things set up. You know what I'm saying? We'll browse around the OS a little bit, maybe poke around with some of the features and functions. You know, take a couple of camera samples just to kind of let you guys see, you know, what the cameras is looking like. You know, see if Samsung has kind of worked out the kinks with some of this shutter lag that people be complaining about. You know what I'm saying? And then we'll go ahead and close the video on out. All right, hold it down. All right, YouTube family, we are back in and got everything set up, and I gotta say, I'm impressed with this thing, right? I know that last year, you know, I slammed it, and you know, I think that the Z Flip 3 was a better phone than what I actually gave it credit for. And you know, I actually wanted to get my hands on another one, you know, once I got rid of it, you know, and you know what they say, you know, you never miss what you had until it's gone. You know what I'm saying? And I just never got around to getting another one. You know, so you know, the build, I mean, this it feels really good in the hand. And obviously, you know, if you're looking for, you know, portability, pocketability, you know, and you want a foldable, I mean, this for now is it. And the reason why I say for now is because later on in the year, you know, Motorola, they're going to be releasing the Moto Razr 2022, which this time it's going to be a full-on flagship, right? And I know that last year, as it pertained to the Z Flip 3, I was still, you know, playing around with the Moto Razr 5G, and the outer display on that phone, you know, and in my opinion, was superior to the outer display on the Z Flip 3. And so, yeah, and that's actually one of the main reasons why I got rid of my Z Flip 3. But the flip side of that was the Z Flip 3 was more of a flagship device through and through, as opposed to the Moto Razr 5G was more of a budget offering as far as like its specs and things of that nature. But yet the cost, they were, you know, charging flagship pricing for that joint. So, you know, it feels good, you know, just to get my hands on, you know, another Z Flip, you know, obviously, you know, this being the new one. But, you know, this thing, it really feels good. Like I like the aspect ratio. You know, it's a bit of a tall device, you know, once you flip it open. That's not an issue to me at all whatsoever. As you can see, you know, the fingerprint sensor side mounted. I've gotten used to that on my Surface Duo 2, which is one of my favorite Android devices right now. I know that some people, you know, they say that Samsung is alone at the top as it pertains to these foldables. I disagree. That Microsoft Surface Duo 2 ain't no joke. And I got my full pristine review coming for that. I'd already had it recorded, but there were some things that I wanted to add, and a couple more things that I wanted to show. And so I basically just scrapped the video that I had recorded and just redid it, you know. So I'm in the process of finishing up some minor little edits here and there, and you know, stay tuned for that, because that's going to be coming very soon as well. But yeah, I do like, you know, the double tap to put the phone to sleep, and you can double tap to wake up the display. Again, that fingerprint sensor is lightning quick. I mean, you barely tap on it and it opens up. Same thing with facial recognition. You see that? I mean, as soon as it recognizes your face, it just opens right up. Boom, just like that. Now, you can, under the settings, for, you know, once you set up your face, your facial recognition or your facial biometrics, you can choose to, once the phone recognizes your face, you can have it go straight to your desktop like mine does, or you can set it to where it will unlock the phone, but you'll still have to like swipe up or like perform some additional gesture to get to the desktop. And so I like the fact that, you know, it gives you the ability to, you know, choose, you know, just, you know, some added security, you know, just in case you feel like people may be trying to, you know, get into your phone and so forth. So I like the fact that we are being given that option. Now, this is the 256 gig variant, you know, fresh out of the box, you know, with all the, this is the AT&T variant of this device. And there was a lot of AT&T bloat on there, you know, that I got rid of. And so, you know, thankfully, you know, you're able to get rid of that stuff. And I just kept the AT&T stuff that, you know, I wanted to keep, given the fact that I am an AT&T customer. But aside from the My AT&T app, I don't really need a lot of the other stuff that that was on the device. So just be mindful, you know, if you get this device from a carrier, it's probably going to have some, you know, some carrier, you know, applications on it. But I mean, it's nothing too crazy. It's not like it's, you know, permanently on your phone. You can uninstall them and free up, you know, some additional space that it may be taking up. Now, again, this is the 256 gig variant. Fresh out of the box, it's not 256 gigs that you're getting because of the pre-installed applications. So just be mindful of that. I forgot to look to see exactly what it was before I, you know, did my my smart switch and got everything synced over from my my S22 here. But yeah, I mean, it still should be, you know, you're still going to get, you know, over you know, 200 gigs of storage, you know, to play with. I mean, so, you know, you still should be good to go, given the fact that there's no SD card slot for memory expansion. All right, now you see scrolling again, we have that 120 hertz or up to 120 hertz refresh rate. Right now, if we go into settings for the display. For motion smoothness, you see we have adaptive and standard. Okay, those are the only two options that we've got. Go ahead and set that up so you guys can see that there. Boom. Okay, so yes, those are the only two options that we've got. I'm not really a big fan of this. There are other Android devices that they give you an option. Like my Moto Edge Plus, it's, you can start it off at 60 hertz. You can increase it to 90, to 120, all the way up to 144. I would prefer something like that, even though One UI is by far my favorite user interface, just because it gives you so many different customizable options to really make the device your own. I'm really a big fan of that. But some people may feel like, okay, well, hey, I don't mind, my device, just, either, scaling up or scaling down my refresh rate based on what I'm doing. Me personally, I would rather just choose it and have my refresh rate locked at whatever it is that I want it at. So if I want it at 90, I can put it at 90. If I want it at 120, I can put it at 120. If I want it at 60, if I'm just trying to, conserve battery, I can put it at 60 and live with, the choppiness and the not so smooth scrolling effects that 60 hertz provides. So I mean, just to only have adaptive and standard, to me, I wish that Samsung would have given us a couple of more choices, you know what I mean, just between 120, 90 or 60. But I mean, it is what it is. I mean, we can't do anything to change it. I'm just saying, maybe some of you may feel like I'm being petty, but I would have personally liked to have had more options here so that I can choose my refresh rate and know that it's locked at whatever that choice is. All right, but again, this is what it is. And so, it's going to give you the little tutorial here on what adaptive looks like versus what standard looks like. Not a big deal there. All right, now, real quick, just under the settings, we've got, your account name, or whatever the email you got your name set up under for your Samsung account. Connections, this is where you're going to find, Bluetooth, NFC, and contactless payments, airplane mode, data usage, SIM card manager, mobile hotspot, and tethering, and then more connection settings. That's going to take you to nearby device scanning. I don't need that. On printing, VPN, private DNS, and network unlock. Okay. Then you got. Let's see. If you're looking for something else, Samsung Cloud, link to Windows, Android Auto, Quick Share. Now, speaking of link to Windows, this device does not have DeX support. And I know that some people was really, disappointed by that. I mean, would it be cool for, to do, the whole DeX thing on the Z Flip? I don't know. Because I've only done it on my Samsung tablets and, from, the folds that I, had, before. So I personally, as far as the Flip is concerned, don't feel as though I'm missing anything by not being able to access DeX on it. But I mean, I can understand, if that's something that people would want, especially given the fact that this is, this is the Z Flip. This is one of the cream of the crop devices, one of the upper echelon type devices that Samsung offers. I mean, so, I can understand, the gripe if some people feel as though DeX should have been supported on the Z Flip, but for whatever reason, it isn't. Maybe somewhere down the line with the software update or something, maybe Samsung can give DeX support to the Z Flip 4, but just be mindful, you do not have DeX support on the Z Flip 4. Click on that just to make sure that I'm not telling lies here. Okay, so this is just link your phone and your PC. Okay, yeah, this is something totally different from DeX. Samsung, they have an account with Microsoft, and so you can very easily access a lot of the Microsoft apps and the Microsoft suite and stuff on your Samsung devices. That's actually one of the things that I'm looking forward to on my Z Fold 4, which is sitting right behind me, got delivered today. So yeah, stay tuned because I got the unboxing coming for that as well. So yeah, we busy over here, man. So yeah, so this is what you're gonna find under connections. Now we got sound and vibration. Click on that. You got sound mode, sound, vibrate, mute, vibrate while ringing, ringtone, notification, system sound, volumes. Now this is critical to me because I like the fact that it gives you the option. And I say this in all my Samsung device videos. I love having the option to toggle the ringtone, the media, the notification, and the systems individually. A lot of phones, you know, the ringtone and the notifications are consolidated, and I cannot stand that. I cannot stand that because I may want to increase my ringtone volume, but I may want to leave my notification volume the same. Well, I mean, for the phones that consolidate those two settings, if you move the slider, you're adjusting both the volume for the ringtone and the notifications, and I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of that. So I love the fact that, you know, you have each individual category and you can toggle the volume for each one. Okay, to me, that's a big deal. Okay, that's a huge deal to me. All right, so all the system sounds, you know, call vibration pattern, notification vibration pattern, vibration intensity. This is where you can, you know, control how intense you want the vibration to be when you're receiving incoming calls, notifications, or touch interactions. The phone, you know, a lot of times the phone is in my pocket and I may not hear it if I'm in a loud environment. I mean, so for the ringtone and the notifications, I keep the vibration intensity up so that I can feel it rumbling around in my pocket, so that I know that, hey, I either got a phone call or a notification coming in. Okay. This right here is huge for me because I haven't really seen anything like this on a lot of other devices. All right. Sound quality and effects. And I know that I talk about this on pretty much every Samsung device that offers it. It's not a new feature to Samsung, but it may be new to you if you didn't realize that Samsung devices had this feature. You know, a lot of the features and functions are just tucked away in the settings, and there's a lot of phones that do a lot of stuff, but you wouldn't know it if you're not the type to really just get into the settings and dig deep into, you know, looking for all the stuff and all the capabilities that that device offers. But me, on the other hand, I'm quite the opposite. You know, it's like I get a phone and it's like I want to dissect and scrutinize everything. You know, I'm going in the settings that, you know, if I don't know what it is, the more I'm curious to know what it is. And so I'm going to click on it. And, you know, you find stuff that way. You know, you familiarize yourself with your device by doing stuff like that. And so when I stumbled across this, I was blown away. So not only do we have Dolby Atmos, we have Dolby Atmos for gaming, which I have turned off because I don't game on my phones. But we have an equalizer here that has some presets, you know, normal, pop, classic, jazz, rock, custom. Okay. And for all you music buffs out there, all you audiophiles like me, this is one of the main reasons why this particular feature is so critical to me. You know, because I'm just music. I just don't know where I'd be in life without it. You know what I mean? I'm such a huge music guy. You know, like I said, I pay for subscriptions for Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube Music, Epidemic Sound. You know, I've got Pandora. You know, I'm just, it's insane, right? And the ability to be able to toggle the sound to get music to sound the exact way that I want it to is very, very, very important to me. And so when you have the equalizer that has these presets, or you click on adapt sound, and again, I mean, this is just like basically tailor making the sound specifically for the way in which you like to listen to your music or your media content. And I like the fact here, you can choose adapt sound for media and calls, or for only media, or for only calls. I have it selected for media and calls because I just want to get the best sound quality, whether I'm talking on the phone or listening to media, music, whatever, right? Now by default, the adapt sound is turned off, okay? But you got these age groups. And so if you're someone who's under 30 years old, it's gonna boost high frequencies. Now I'm getting ready to turn 44 next month in September. Today is the 23rd of August. Okay. Then you've got 30 to 60 years old. And so, you know, I'm within that range. And so what this does is it boosts high and mid frequencies. And then anybody that's 60 years and over, it says boost all frequencies. But then what you can do is you can click on that little settings icon right there, and you can do a preview, and you can choose the preferred ear for calls. You can choose the sound preference. So for sound preferences, you got clear or soft. Again, you know, for preferred ear for calls, you got left or right. You can preview it here. It'll do like a test, play like these little faint sounds to see if you can hear it or not. You know what I'm saying? I mean, so it will test your hearing to recommend the best sound quality possible for you, right? Like I've never held any other device in my hand that, you know, went so hard on really fine tuning audio the way you want to. Like I've never seen this in any other device before. This is why I always point this out in the features and talk about it when I'm reviewing Samsung phones, because I've only seen them in Samsung phones. And this is much different than a phone just having Dolby Atmos, right? This phone has Dolby Atmos, but it also has adapt sound along with the equalizer and the presets. This is deeper than DTSX apt sound, which is, you know, another one of the audio fine tuning options that some devices have on them, right? And I'm appreciative, you know, when I see that on devices as well. But this goes a bit deeper. This is huge for me. Huge. Before, I used to only think that iPhones would produce the music quality that sounded the best to ride around in your car, because I'm all about crystal clear. You know, some people, they ride around, you hear their cars and all you can hear is the bass beating, but you can't hear anything else. Or I'll be riding with people and they listen to their music so bass heavy and it just drowns out the sound of the lyrics and the hi-hats and the snare drum and the cymbals. And, you know, somebody's playing the bongos or whatever, or just whatever, right? I like to hear all that. So I like to have like a healthy balance of each. I don't want one sound drowning out the sound of every other sound that's in a song. And I'm a beat nut too. I used to play the drums in the church choir. I used to be in a little rap group back in the day, me and my boys, and I was the DJ. I was the one that was making the beats, playing the drums, beatboxing, had a drum machine. Like, I'm a beat nut. And so it's like, man, this stuff is just super critical to me, man. You know what I mean? And it wasn't until I discovered this on Samsung devices to where now I can tweak the sound to where it sounds cleaner than, you know, the sound from iPhones. And iPhones, they produce really good sound when you're listening to music, you know, whether it be through Bluetooth earbuds or you got an iPhone, you know, synced to your car stereo. I mean, man, it really sounds good. This sounds just as good, if not better, because of options like this. So for all you people out there that are audiophiles like me and you really care about the way your music sounds, man, this is it. And I didn't even mean to go on this big spiel about this, but this is how important this is to me, right? You know, we all have things about devices that are more important than others. But I mean, for me, this is huge. This is one of the hugest things about Samsung devices that I absolutely love. And I can never discount them. Never. Because they offer stuff like this, right? All right, so moving right along. And here's that thing where it says, you know, test my hearing. That's where you can do like a hearing test. And then after the hearing test, based on how you do, it will recommend different sounds. You know, it will adapt the sound specifically for you based on how you scored on the test. Never seen anything like that on any other smartphone before. All right. Oh, excuse me. Moving right along. And then, of course, under sounds and vibration, if you're looking for something else, alert when phone is picked up. Do not disturb. Now, what this is take us to motions and gestures. So if you lift up the phone, it'll wake it up. I like to have that on. Double tap to turn on screen, double tap to turn off screen. Keep screen on while viewing. Alert when phone is picked up. So say like if you missed a phone call or missed a text message, when you pick your phone up off of whatever flat surface that is sitting on, or if it's sitting on your car seat in your car, in your center console, whenever you pick it up, it's going to vibrate. And that's the indication that you either missed a call or missed a notification. Like, I like that. That's dope to me. So I turn that on. Mute with gestures. Mute incoming calls and alarms by putting your hand over the screen or turning your phone face down. Okay. Then we have finger sensor gestures. Okay. So we have open the notification panel, swipe up or down on the fingerprint sensor to open or close the notification panel. So this swiping down from the top, that's the notification panel. Now, usually every time that this isn't a new technology, but on a lot of phones that offer the same thing, I would always find myself accidentally pulling down the notification shade when I wasn't trying to. So a lot of times I just leave that off just to prevent those accidental accesses to the notification shade, because at some point it just becomes an annoyance, and then it's just like, look, I'm just turning this thing off. And yeah, so I mean, if you feel as though that's going to be a useful feature for you, then turn it on. But I mean, trust me, there's going to be several times where you're going to pull down the notification shade by accident, and it can start to become an annoyance. So just giving you a heads up about that particular feature. It's cool that it's there, but it can be annoying. All right. Okay, and then we've got palm swipe to capture. That's a screenshot. So you can either just take the palm of your hand or the palm of your right or left hand, however you want to do it, move it from left to right, and then there's your screenshot right there. You see it just captured it. You've got your screenshot settings right there. And yeah, that's how you do that. So if you're wondering how to take a screenshot on a Samsung device, you got to make sure that that feature is turned on. But if it is, then you just palm swipe from left to right, and that's how you get your screenshot. All right. Now, moving right along. Wallpaper and style, themes, home screen. So if we go to home screen, this is where you can toggle your home screen layout. So we got home screen layout. You can either have an app screen or just home screen only. Okay. We got home screen grid, app screen grid, folder grid, add media page to home screen, show apps button on home screen, lock home screen layout. That's so like if you download any apps from the Play Store, they're not going to pop up on your home screen. They're just only going to appear in the app drawer. Okay. Hide apps on home and app screen. App icon badges, show with number. So rather than there just being a dot, like say if I've got some text messages that comes in, it'll show a dot indicating that you've got a message that you haven't checked. But I like the number because the number is going to tell you how many messages. So, if somebody texts you 3 times, you just look at the little icon over that app and it's going to have a number 3 indicating that you've got 3 text messages that you need to check. I'm a fan of that. Okay. Okay, then we got swipe down for notification panel, and that's just swiping down on anywhere on the display, I believe. Open the notification panel by swiping down anywhere on the, okay, yeah, that's what that is. Rotate the landscape mode. Yeah, I'll turn that on. And then we have about home screen and contact us. All right. So then we have lock screen, cover screen. Now, when you go to cover screen, this is where you can toggle clock style, widgets, show notifications, turn on screen for notifications, and then you got always on display and then hide content for the lock screen. Now, if we go to clock style, these are the different clock styles that we've got for the outer display. Okay. Got some nice little options right there. You can make it real colorful, real flashy, or you can just have it just kind of plain, but there's different clock styles that you can choose. And every time you choose it, it's going to show you right there exactly what it's going to look like so that you'll have an idea. There seems to be more of these now. I don't remember it being this many on the Z Flip 3. So in this one, you can add a city, so you can have the times for 2 different cities going at the same time, which is nice. And those are just basic ones. But if we go to graphical, then that's what it's going to look like. Okay. So we got some cute little animations here. And then I'm wondering at some point, or maybe you already have the capability under the themes app and wallpapers, maybe you can go in and download a bunch more. But those are just some of the basic ones that come pre-installed on the device for now, we'll just keep it on the basic one that that was the default one. Biometrics and security, facial recognition, fingerprints, more biometric settings. And so you got show unlock transition effect or biometric security patch. Okay. Google Play Protect, security update July 1st, 2022. Find My Mobile, on without, I don't need that. I don't lose my devices. Oh, it's going to make me put it. Okay, well, I'll do that later. Samsung Pass, secure folder, private share, Samsung blockchain key store, install unknown apps, other security settings, blah, blah, blah. All right. And then we got privacy, location, safety, and emergency, accounts and backups, Google, advanced features. This is where we can link to Windows, call and text on other devices, continue apps on other devices, that app continuity, Android Auto, Quick Share, Labs, Side Key, mobile motions and gestures, one-handed mode. Let's see, not one-handed mode. What are we doing on that? Is it just, oh, so we're just swiping down on that. Oh, okay, that's simple. So yeah, we're just swiping down on this on the middle portion of the screen, middle bottom portion of the screen, and then that's how we do one-handed mode. And then here you can switch sides. You can toggle the size or just kind of move it where you want it. It's that little white bar right there. There we go. Oh, so we can only move it up and down based on the side that it's on. Okay. But if it's on that side, then got it. Okay, cool. Okay, so that's how you do one-hand mode. To get it back to the regular screen, you just go ahead and just tap on the side of it or whatever, and it just brings it right back up. All right. Bixby routines, smart suggestions, screenshot and screen recorder, show contacts when sharing content, video call effects, game launcher, turn that off, video brightness normal or bright, we'll keep that normal. Play videos using your phone's normal screen brightness and color settings. All right, then we have dual messenger. And those are all the settings that we've got within the special or the advanced features. Digital well-being and parental controls, battery and device care, apps, general management, accessibility. Now under accessibility, we've got recommended for you. So if you tap on that, this is automate the accessibility functions you need with Bixby routines. Dimming beyond minimum brightness can make it more comfortable to look at your screen, especially at night or in the dark environments. You can add this feature to the quick panel. Okay, so we have talkback, visibility enhancements. Okay, so this is where you can, toggle, resize the letters. You got high contrast theme, high contrast fonts, high contrast keyboard, highlight buttons, color inversion, color adjustment, add color filter, remove animations, reduce transparency and blur, extra dim, magnification, large mouse touchpad pointer, font size and style, or screen zoom. And so those are all the settings that are under visibility enhancements. Okay, then we have hearing enhancements. So we have real-time text, live transcribe, live caption, caption preference, sound notification, hearing aid support, amplify ambient sound, adapt sound, mute all sounds, mono audio, left-right sound balance. And then you can toggle that slider right there, for the sound balance in the left or right. Okay, and then this is for connected audio. This one is for phone speaker. So you can see there's a lot of different options out there that are available for people that need to utilize, the features and functions within the accessibility portion of the device. Now let's go to interaction and dexterity. So we got universal switch, use external accessories to control your phone and select items on the screen, assistant menu, voice access, answering and ending calls, interaction control, touch and hold delay, tap duration, ignore repeated touches, auto action after pointer stops, sticky keys, slow keys, and then bounce keys. And okay, well, didn't mean to do that. So then we have advanced settings, and under the advanced settings, under accessibility, we have accessibility button gestures, side and volume up keys. So you can choose what you want these what you want these things to do. So right here you can select an action. Let's see, fade when not in use, and then you can choose the transparency to make it more transparent or less transparent. That's pretty dope. God, it's like Samsung didn't really miss a beat. They just threw everything in here. So let's see, we got flash notifications, time to take action, speak keyboard input allowed, Bixby vision for accessibility, and then voice label. And then we also have notification reminders. All right, that's under the advanced settings under accessibility. Okay, and then we have installed apps, about accessibility, and contact us. All right, software update. Let's check and see if we got anything. Currently up to date. Okay, cool. It's always a good sign. User manual, and then about phone. If we go to about phone, see Jules Z Flip 4. Software information, you see we got One UI version 4.1.1 running Android 12. Yeah, there's the confirmation for that, ladies and gentlemen. So that's pretty much everything that you're going to find under the settings menu for the Z Fold 4. And again, you know, this is one of the main reasons why I love One UI, because they don't really seem to leave anything out as it pertains to settings and you being able to, you know, really set up and, you know, make the device your own. And I just love how hard Samsung goes with the audio options, right? That's a big deal to me. Now, let's dive into this camera real quick. Okay, nope, we don't need my location turned on. All right, so we have photo mode, portrait mode, video, and then more. Now, with more, we've got Bixby Vision, AR Zone, Pro Mode, Pro Video, Single Take, Night Mode, Food Mode, Panorama, Super Slow-Mo, Slow-Mo, Hyperlapse, Portrait Video, and Director's View. Woo, okay. Man, my bad for that interruption, y'all. Okay, so again, Pro Mode, Pro Video, Single Take, Night Shot, Food Shot, Panorama, Super Slow-Mo, Slow Motion, Hyperlapse, Portrait Video, and Director's View. Now, some of those, the little slider down here, you can add some of these settings to this slider right there so that you don't always have to access this particular portion if you want to put it in a particular mode, right? And so I am a fan of that. We have Bixby Vision up there. We have AR Zone right there. Okay, now, if we go to settings, we've got Scene Optimizer. We've got shot suggestions, and that's get on screen guides to help you line up great shots. I don't necessarily need that. Scan QR codes, swipe shutter button to take burst shots or create a GIF. Okay, we got picture formats. We got high efficiency pictures or raw copies. Okay, we got save selfies as previewed, which save selfies and selfie videos as they appear in the preview without flipping them. Selfie color tone, natural or bright. Just keep it on natural for now. I'll have to, you know, play with it, take some selfies just to kind of see, you know, what the difference is if I like one over the other. But for now, it's on natural by default, so we'll just keep it there. Cover screen selfie ratio, match front camera, and that's what it is by default, or 1:1 square. So it says select the ratio to use for pictures and videos taken while your phone's closed. Cover screen pictures and videos will have the same ratio as selfies taken with the camera above the main screen. Okay, so for now, I'm just going to keep it with match front camera, or you can toggle it to 1:1 square. Okay, that's going to be a small square, you know, because this is the cover screen when the device is closed. So I think that it would just be a better look. Even though it's still small, it's going to, you know, fill up that whole space with the viewfinder. So it's on match front screen by default. For videos, you got auto FPS, video stabilization. We want that on. We got advanced recording options, and we have reduced file size or HDR10 plus videos. All right, that's what we're gonna find under advanced recording options. All right, then we have fit to screen, 3.4 ratio. This is remove the black bars around the preview on the main screen in flex mode. Some areas not shown in the preview will be captured. Okay, so that's on by default as well. So we have tracking autofocus, grid lines. I like to have the grid lines on. Location tags, shooting methods. We've got press volume keys to take picture or record video. You can, and that's by default, or you can zoom in or out or control system volume. Okay, we have voice commands, floating shutter button. Oh, excuse me. Or show palm. That's just like if you flash the palm of your hand in front of the camera, then it'll take a photo. Okay, so you got some gestures there. All right. Settings to keep. I like this. Camera mode. So whatever camera mode that you were on, and say if that's just your favorite default camera mode, then if you turn this on, then whatever that camera mode is, every time you turn the camera off and turn it back on, it's always going to be in that mode. So you're never going to have to fish around for that particular camera mode, right? That's dope. Selfie angle. Yesterday, I was just kind of playing with the phone and I had it set up in flex mode. And as I was moving around, it was just taking different photos and I really liked the angle. And so the phone asked me if I wanted to keep that angle. And I said yes. And so whenever I, hit a selfie and I have the phone sitting up in flex mode, which is like this, then it's going to be at that angle that I like. And I'll show that to you here momentarily, right? That's dope. That's filthy. Then we got filters. Keep the filters you've applied to each mode instead of removing them when you close the camera. And then the bottom one is super steady. If super steady is on in video mode, keep it on instead of turning it off when you close the camera. So this is basically just locking all the settings how you had them the last time you used the camera, right? That is super useful, right? Because if you found a particular angle or a particular mode or just a particular setting or whatever, a filter, whatever, you can set it as a fave. And it will always be that whenever you open up your camera until you want to change it, as opposed to when you close the camera, then it deletes all that stuff. And every time you reopen the camera, you have to go back and set those settings up again. I like that. I'm a huge fan of that. All right. All right. Let's see here. Okay. So shutter sound, vibration feedback, privacy notice permissions, reset settings, about camera, and then contact us. Okay, so now here is our flash. It's on auto by default. We've got the timer, 2 seconds, 5 seconds, or 10 seconds. We'll keep that off. Here's the aspect ratio by default. It's on 3:4. We got 9:16, 1:1, or 9:22, which is just the full screen. Okay. Keep it on the default 3:4. Which is how I like it. This here is motion photo on. That's just whenever you take a photo, it's gonna record like a couple of seconds to make the photos look as though they're moving. I'm gonna turn that off. Here are some filters. You got a bunch of different filters to choose. Okay. And then up top, you got my filters, you got face filters, there's beauty mode, all that type of stuff. Okay, we'll get out of that. And then here we have cover screen preview on. Wait, so let's see. Well, okay, what happened? All right, wait, let's try that again. Gotcha. So you just turn it around, and so, this is dope. This is, that's okay. I like that. So this is cover screen preview on. It's just, previewing what the photo is going to look like with the cover screen on. Okay. All right. I got you. All right, so shutter lag. Does it have it or does it not? Let's see. Okay, take a photo real quick. Here we go. That was quick. Okay. It's taking that photo right when I hit the button. So there doesn't appear to be any shutter lag, or, you know, seems like Samsung has made some improvements with the shutter lag. I mean, that people have complained about in several previous Samsung devices. All right. And then of course the quality. Same photo. This is a photo that I took yesterday. And this is just when I had the phone sitting up in flex mode. And as I was moving around, it was just taking pictures. Interesting. Okay, so this is flex mode. And I like, as soon as you bend the phone a bit, then all your settings are down here on the bottom screen, and that's dope. So all the settings that were up top are now down here. And then you got portrait mode, photo mode, video, and more. And then same thing with the selfie. Now this is the angle that I saved right here. Okay, so if you want to take it, this is so dope right here, right? I mean, this is dope. I mean, because like I said, I saved the angle, so that's like the perfect angle right there. If I have this phone just sitting up on like a countertop or something like that, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I can get a little closer to the device. I can move back. Again, I've got all my settings right here. You know, and, you know, portrait mode, again, video mode, more. Like, this is dope. I mean, you know, we got the whole, you know, let's see. Take the picture. Like, you just show it your palm or something like that, and then it would take, it was doing it yesterday. I don't know why it's not doing it right now, but yeah. So yeah, this is flex mode. All right, and you're gonna be able to do similar things with the Z Fold 4. Obviously, the Z Fold 4, it's bigger. You know what I'm saying? I mean, so, you know, you're gonna have more of a landscape, you know, more stuff on the display. I'm pretty sure it's probably gonna have a few more options, little bells and whistles to play with while your device is in flex mode. But I mean, this is dope right here, man. This is dope. I'm a fan. Let me see. Okay, boom, taking that photo instantly. Okay. And then I like the fact too, if you're taking a photo, you can just use the bottom screen to swipe. Like, that is dope, man. That is dope. Like, I like the way that Samsung has found creative ways to use the device in different ways, you know, when it's folded. Then we'll go ahead and hit back to get to the camera there. Keep OneDrive up to date. Yeah, of course. Of course, keep OneDrive up to date. Yeah, this is sick. Okay, we'll go ahead and get out of that. So that's your camera, ladies and gentlemen, for the Z Fold 4. And yeah, looking forward to getting some photos, you know, putting together the camera review, you know, for this device. Definitely looking forward to that. Now, the phone, it's a little warm. It's a little warm, and it's nothing to panic over, but I noticed, like, right here, the phone is a little bit warm just because, you know, I had the camera accessed for a bit. Now, I have heard that, you know, if you know, are rocking, you know, the camera on for like, you know, 7 to 10 minutes, depending on what you're doing, especially if you've got 4K enabled, you know, the device is going to start to warm up. It's going to start to warm up. I don't believe that we have, I don't think that we have 8K recording. Hold on, let me see something. Let me go back to the camera. Go to the video. Okay, so this is full HD 30. Okay, so we don't have 8K on video. We have 4K 60, 4K 30, full HD 60 or 30, and then 720 HD at 30. Okay. Because I know that with the Fold 4, you have 8K video recording at 24 FPS. So yeah, but that's not present here on the Flip. And again, just I mean, as far as performance, I mean, this thing blazing fast. I mean, you know, Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1. Okay, this thing is gonna fly. 8 gigs of RAM. Right. Yeah, I mean, just that refresh rate is so refreshing. Things are just so smooth, and it's a noticeable difference when you've got that high refresh rate turned on, and then when you turn it off. I mean, you really see the difference. Now, interesting, I'm swiping up because I know that some people have made big deals about the crease. How egregious or obnoxious is the crease? The crease doesn't bother me. You do feel it, like a lot of times, like mostly like if I'm scrolling, I'm going to be scrolling from the bottom of the device. But I've noticed, you know, since I've been scrolling up and down on Spotify here, that my finger has kind of run across the crease. You feel it, right? It's there, but it's not taken away from anything, right? It's not taken away from anything. So, I mean, to me, the crease, it's not as egregious as people make it seem. Okay, let's go to YouTube Music real quick. And I'm connected to Wi-Fi right now. I don't have my SIM card in the device. And so, you know, speeds and things are going to differ, you know, when you're on Wi-Fi versus using, you know, the an LTE connection. But yes, take it shopping real quick. Okay. Go back. Go home. Let's go to Best Buy. So you can see, I mean, it's not struggling at all opening these applications. I mean, it's opening them up super fast. It takes like a couple seconds or what have you. As I mentioned, you know, 8 gigs of RAM. I mean, so I'm sure that everything is going to be held very well in the RAM. Again, don't have to, you know, reload anything. Spotify there. Go back to Amazon. It's right there. YouTube Music. It's there. Right. So, I mean, this phone is pretty much going to be able to handle whatever you throw at it. I mean, gaming, you're in for a real treat. I mean, this thing really possesses the power that you're going to need to do some really intense gaming. So that's where I'm going to stop this video, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for allowing me to bend your ear about the new Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 4. If you like this video, you already know, please hit the thumbs up button. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to expose yourself to tons of videos that I've done like this one. Be sure to keep it locked at Pristine Mobile Tech because I've got so much more content to come. Click that notification bell so that every time my videos drop and go live, you'll get notified. You can be one of the first ones to check out the content. Comment section is always where I'm chilling at. All right, so don't hesitate. If you got any kind of questions, comments, any feedback for me, constructive criticism, whatever, I do not have thin skin at all whatsoever. All I ask is that we keep it respectful in the comment section. I respect your views on tech. You please respect my views on tech, and we'll talk tech respectfully. Sound like a deal? Deal. All right. Well, you guys already know. Please stay safe. Get spiritually fit because we're definitely living in the last days. And if you think I'm lying, read the book of Revelations, which is the last book in the Holy Bible, and then compare that to everything that's going on in the world right here, right now. And you will see for yourself that this was all written, right? It was all written. These plagues, you know what I'm saying? COVID-19, monkeypox, you know, all these other, you know, illnesses and things out there that are detrimental to the health. War, genocide in urban communities, and death and destruction and violence. And every time you turn on the news, it's, you know, shootings every day, mass shootings seemingly every other day. People dropping like flies out here. Nobody knows how to communicate. Nobody knows how to love. Nobody knows how to show compassion. Nobody knows how to forgive. That's why we need to get Christ back into the fold and remember the real reasons as to why he created us in his image, which is to serve, to love, to uplift, to honor, to respect, you know, to show acts of kindness, generosity, you know, help. I mean, where are these things? Like, Like, where are these things these days? Like, these are all things that I advocate for. I am pro-life, and I don't mind being a beacon of hope for all these things that I just mentioned. And you can too. All you got to do is trust and believe in higher power. He's the reason why you sit where you sit right here, right now, no matter what you're going through. And if you're going through struggles, strife in life, trust and believe that he is much bigger than anything that you could ever go through. He conquered the world. So there ain't nothing that you can give to Jesus that's too big for him. All you got to do is trust and believe. And I ain't trying to preach to you, but I'm passionate about this. I'm passionate about saving souls. I'm passionate about people coming to Christ. I'm passionate about the difference that I know that Christ can make in your life, my life, and everybody's life, because he created us. So get spiritually fit. Stop pushing off to tomorrow what you can do today, because tomorrow's not promised. I'll catch y'all in the next video. Peace.